All right, ladies, welcome to Pretty Girls Plan 2026, a business strategy planning workshop for women entrepreneurs. But guess what? You can be a stay-at-home mom, you can be a school teacher, you can be a leader in your ministry, you can be a pastor, and you can just be someone who loves to get organized. Like, hey, shout out to you. If you love organization and spreadsheets, I envy you. You are like there. You're the it girl right now. So but for those of us who are kind of like 12 notebooks, sticky pads everywhere, text messages, screenshots that we're never going to go back and look at, that's me. And so I'm super excited to have each of you on tonight. And so this is just a general layout of what we're going to get into. We're going to get into prayer. I do believe in starting with prayer. And so I pray that you all welcome that. Welcome the prayer that we're gonna do on tonight. We're gonna talk about priorities. We're gonna talk about vision, business system, save yourself time, energy, and money. We're gonna talk about that pricing. How much should I charge? Do I charge too much? Do I charge not enough? Should it be free? You know, so we're gonna talk about that. Financial planning. Look, all the wonderful ideas that we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to need some money to do some of this stuff. You know, sure, I believe in blessings and miracles, and I'm the person that goes to the mailbox hoping somebody says, you know what, I've been looking for you all these years, and here's this check. I believe that, so I would welcome that. However, in the meantime, I need to do some financial planning. We're going to have a little snippet on social media, and overall, one of the most important things, aside from prayer for me, would be self-care. We definitely want to have some self-care in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I hope you all have notebooks. Feel free to take pictures of the screen. There's going to be a few times in here that I'm going to prompt you to do so intentionally. So feel free. All right, so welcome to our virtual workshop. We're excited to guide you through creating a successful business strategy for 2026. And I want to pause just there. When I say the word business, a lot of times people think just like a business, a place where you walk into. However, I also want you to think about your household as a business. I want you to think about your ministry as a business. A business is simply a system of getting things done. And I want to make sure that if you don't own a business yet, that you don't think that this is not for you. Now, there may be some things that don't apply to you, but I pray that there'll be something here on tonight that you can take and apply in your everyday life. So Pretty Girls Plan, we are focusing on faith, priorities, program, profit, and personal well-being. As a business owner, if you're a business owner, I want to encourage you to remember you are a person and you have to take care of yourself. And I'm talking to me too. All right. So God is within her. She will not fall. God will help her at break of day. All right. And look at us sitting around the table planning. So in the meantime, we got to do it on Zoom. All right, so I am your host. If you haven't figured that out already, my name is Candy Martin. I am your experienced host for Pretty Girls Plan 2026. I am God-fearing, a financial professional with vision. I'm an educator at heart. I love teaching. I'm a business enthusiast. I love going to all kinds of workshops and learning new things. So that's me. And I'm a leader that wants to build legacy, not just transactional. I want to be able to leave an impact in however I can. I pray that you meeting me has put some part of a betterment in your life. I want to make sure that I left it better than it was when I first came in. And I'm welcome that from everyone. I am willing to learn. And so I appreciate that. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a Mimi, and I'm a sister and a friend. And so I see a lot of my friends on here, and I see some people that I'll get to know. If you want to know about more events that we'll be hosting, you can go to my website, martinbusinesssolution.com/events. And I typically update that once a week, usually like a Saturday or Sunday. So like on, if you want to check to see what's upcoming, we do have some in-person events and we do have some virtual. So prayerfully, there's something else there. Now, we are not going to get to solve your life in the next 90 minutes, a little bit, maybe we might go over a little bit, 90 minutes. We're not going to get it all solved tonight, okay? So connect with each one of the presenters, get our website, see when we're doing something else. Take good notes. There's going to be some things you'll have to do later, and I'll tell you how we're going to connect because we have something in store to keep us all connected. So I'm excited about that as well. All right. So before we get into all the detailed planning and laying everything out, I do want to offer that we invite God in, because no matter how great our plans are, I am a woman of faith, and so I truly believe that if He takes His hand off and we're no longer breathing, these plans ain't gonna matter. So I really want to invite him in, and I want to make sure that what I am articulating on tonight is according to his will and that he is pleased with it, and that we are seeking him. It's not me. I'm just going to give you the things that he gave me. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about travel. I don't know about anybody else. That's like one of my favorite things to talk about. So all the things that we want to do. However, I do ultimately want to make sure that I am operating according to God's will, and I want to make sure that if that is your belief, that we stand in agreement with that. So inviting God into your planet is essential for aligning your business goals with divine guidance. Embrace this moment to reflect and seek wisdom as you create your strategy. And just a disclaimer, the things that we're going to share, the things that apply to you, apply them. The things that don't, share it with someone else. However, just, be attentive and just invite God in and say, Lord, let me take away the things that you intend for me to take away, and let me have the strength and the boldness to apply it. So, Father God, I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share with these ladies on tonight. It's such an honor and it's such a privilege that I get to do this, Lord God, and it's not a burden, and I do it cheerfully and joyfully. Your word said that you love a cheerful giver. So I cheerfully give the information that you have allowed me to learn over the years as I share my expertise with these ladies. I pray that on tonight that they have an ear to hear what it is that you're telling them about their business, whether it's if they're a homemaker or if they run a Fortune 500 company or they're thinking about a business. Lord God, that you would give them guidance and direction as we come into 2026, and that we do everything pleasing to you, that you get all the glory and all the honor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. All right. All righty. God is within her, is the scripture that I started with. She will not fall. God will help her at the break of dawn. And you'll find that in Psalm chapter 46, verse 5. And for whatever reason, I'm a proverb lover. I love reading Proverbs. But this was in Psalms. I was like, when we were thinking and meditating, the scripture came to me. I don't know. I actually thought it was in Proverbs, because I love Proverbs, but it was in Psalms. And so I read it and I said, you know what? We got to remember that whatever the vision is, whatever it is, that we don't have to be afraid to do it, because we're not on our own. And we have to believe that whatever we put our hands to, it will be blessed, and that we'll get our help from the Lord. And sometimes getting help from him means we're getting help through each other, that he blessed us to put people in our path that we're able to connect with. So just thought I'd share that. All right, so the very first thing that we're going to do to plan our 2026 starting January 1, we're going to read. I know it's not everybody's top priority to read. We don't like to read. We can do audio book. We can do flashcards. I mean, whatever you got to do, we're going to get through the book of Proverbs in the month of January, okay? And so starting January 1 through January 31st, we're going to read one chapter a day. And I'm going to connect each of you to we have an app that we're going to use. It's called Band, B-A-N-D. Don't worry, I'm going to email it to you so that you can get connected. And in that app, after you read your chapter, whether it's in the morning, noon, or evening, I'm not one of those persons that say, hey, you got to get up at 4 o'clock in order to read, to hear from the Lord. I think he's 24/7. So correct me if I'm wrong. I think he can hear me at 3 p.m. and 3 a.m. just the same. Um, but if you're an early bird, if the Lord tells you to get up at 3 o'clock, then I mean you got to get up at 3, okay? But if it's 4 o'clock while you're driving in traffic, put it on your audio. However, you got to get it in while the kids are doing their homework, you're doing yours too. Whatever you got to do. Every day in the month of January, we are going to read at least one chapter from the book of Proverbs, and we're going to post it in our group that we were able to put together for you all. And you should be able to put your comments in, like, hey, I read chapter 1 and this is what I thought. Or if it's just one word, or if you like to give a long commentary, knock yourself out. But we're going to work together, and we're going to get through the month of January, because I truly believe in first fruit. My February through December needs to be successful. I got some goals, and you're going to see there's some things that we all want to do. So I just truly believe that if we dedicate the month of January, that it'll bless the rest of the year. And if you're not quite sure, and this is your first time ever hearing it, try it. Let's just see what you got to lose. Let's read it and see what happens. So the very first thing that we're going to do, that we're going to write in our notebooks, we are going to write down our plan. So what is it that God is calling your business to focus on in 2026? And some of these answers you may already know, like, yeah, I know that. I've been meditating on that. I got that answer. And it may be like, oh my goodness, I don't know. So if this is one of those questions where you're like, I have no idea, fine. Write the question down, and you can come back to it and write it as it comes to you. But you got to be intentional now. Don't write it in here and then it's April 19th and you finally decide to open the notebook back. So if you don't have it today, don't feel any pressure, like, oh my God, I don't know. That's fine. Or if like, I know without a shadow of a doubt, this is what God is calling me to focus on for 2026, go ahead and write that. The next question that you want to be able to ask yourself is, who am I specifically called to serve? And we're going to talk about that in a little bit when we get into marketing and target market and things of that nature. But if you're a school teacher, who are you calling you to serve? Should you be teaching kindergarten or fifth grade? If you own a restaurant, should you change your menu? Should you be catering to people that have certain dietary needs? Like, just because we have a skill set, now we have the skill set, who are we supposed to serve it to? And if you like me, whomever clicks the link and schedule an appointment with me, I'm going to serve them. So I try to serve everybody. However, when you get into marketing and things of that nature, there is a specific audience that God is calling you to. If you ever notice that you were like, why they got 12 restaurants on the same street? Well, everybody isn't called to eat hamburgers. So so your business is catering to those of us that like tacos, okay? I want a good taco. So I would choose a taco over a hamburger. So who is your audience? What are they like? What are they looking for that they can't find? Or what's so unique about you? So you want to know that. And in order to do anything going forward, what is it that we need to surrender to the Lord, or what is it that we need to release? I was talking to a good friend today, and she said that word, we need to release some things. And I was like, she in my notes. So what are some of the things that we need to release? Okay. So I want to make sure that if anybody needs to take a picture of the screen, you got your questions or you wrote them down, and that you know that we will be checking in on you to see, hey, what is God calling you to do with your business? And who are you, called to serve? And did you release that thing? Did you surrender that thing? So we're here. And like I said, we'll get you the link to follow up on tonight. You'll get a link that says, hey, join the Pretty Girls Plan Proverbs. And we will be doing the proverb reading through the month of January, starting January 1. All right. Let me check the chats before I go to the next screen. I just want to make sure I didn't have any questions. Yeah. Kitty said, and there may be 2 or 3 hamburger places on one street, but we all don't like the same hamburger, so don't get discouraged. That's right. You get ready to start a business, you like, I really love selling hamburgers. I don't know why we're on hamburgers because I'm not a hamburger fan, but anyway, hamburgers it is. And, but a veggie burger. Then they got the greasy, down home, backwood hamburger that people love. My husband would love that hamburger where you can see the grease dripping off the hamburger buns. That's the one he wants. No, thank you. Okay. So everybody has a different thing that they like. So don't get discouraged. If God is calling you to do something that does like 12 others, remember you are unique and you are going to do what it is that he called you to do. All right, so I'm going to be looking for each of you on the Proverbs plan. I'm going to be checking like, hey, did you read the chapter today? All right. Priorities matter. So identifying and prioritizing your core business focus areas for 2026 is essential. Engage in thoughtful reflection to ensure alignment with your values and overall goals. And so I'll say with priorities, oftentimes we'll get somebody will offer us a really good thing to add to our business. We're already doing 12 things, we're already doing too much. And then someone will come along and say, girl, you ought to try this. You ought to add this to your business. I think this would be great for you. Before you say yes, make sure that it's going to align with what you're already doing. Make sure that it speaks to your values and it's going to go to your overall goal. Because saying no isn't just saying no to things that aren't good. Sometimes we have to say no to things that are pretty good, because it's like, oh my God, I can do that. I'm good at doing X, Y, Z, or yeah, I can just add one more thing to my plate. So we want to make sure that we prioritize so that at the end of the year, we are productive. And what I mean by that is when if you see here on the screen, there's a scale and we have all the things in. We have the schedule, we have the reminders, we got to take the kids to practice, we got to take mom to the doctor, we got to go have brunch with our girlfriend, we got to spend time with our husband, we got to walk the dog. I mean, and look, I'm still not really talking about the business. So we got to make sure that we prioritize things and that we put the thing that is going to feed the rest of whatever else we're doing that is first. And so a lot of times people tell us, put priority first, priority first. But how do you do that? How do you put the priority first? Okay. So one of the very first things you want to do is have your focus area. So you think about your business and what it is that your business do. And once you realize, so let's go back to the hamburgers until I get another idea we're gonna be talking about we're gonna talk about hamburgers. So if your business is hamburgers, there's some main things you need. You need hamburger buns, you need some ground turkey, you need lettuce, tomatoes, you need the mayo, you need all the fixings. So those are things that are priorities. So I want you to think like that about your business. Whatever your business is, what are the things you need no matter what? Like if you were stripped down to the bare necessity, what are the things you have to have in place for your business to run? If your business is virtual, you need internet. So I kind of want to just give you some ideas of thinking, what are some of the priorities? And that's going to come into place in a little bit later on tonight, that you got to know what the main things are. Some things are going to come along, they're going to sound great, but is it part of your priority? When we start for 2026, we want to start the year off with a good foundation so that as we go through that, the scale doesn't start tilting. We want to make sure that we're well balanced throughout the year. We're not overwhelmed. Our schedule aren't packed. I just recently started putting some what they call white labeling your schedule or something. I may not be saying it correct, but it shouldn't just be color coded the whole day. Like there's no blank space. That was me. Like 1 o'clock, 1:30, 1:45, 12. It just was back to back to back to back with no breather in it. And so we want to make sure, so a priority for me, it may not be the same for everyone else, is to put some white space in my schedule. And why is that so important? So I don't snap on nobody. I need to eat lunch. So those are some of the things you got to start thinking about. What are some priorities that I have to put in place for me or for my business? If you had a health challenge in 25, maybe we need to make that a priority. And like I said earlier, when we first started, you got to remember, as a business owner, you're still a person. So we want to make sure that you don't forget to take care of the person. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom and you're with the kids all day, you gotta work it out. Like, I'm going in the bathroom, I'm being here 10 minutes, don't knock on the door, or else you will, you already know what y'all gotta do. Go in there, take your butt bath, do whatever you have to do, but you gotta make sure that your priorities are balanced so that you can be functional for the business. We want to get to October and we're just done. But it's the fourth quarter. We gotta finish the year out. And you're like, look, I don't have anything else left. Third quarter, I'm out. So we want to make sure that you have the stamina to make it through. Oh, I love that. Desiree says, I actually went through and added a one-on-one with myself. I know, right? I could do that on Mondays and Fridays, and then I have a CEO think tank for a block twice a week. That's what, I think it's a good idea. Schedule yourself on the calendar. If you're such a calendar stickler like I am, make an appointment with yourself. That's a great idea. Thanks for sharing that, Desiree. So this is what we're gonna do. We want to get those pens and papers out, and we're ready to write. Take a minute and write down what are your, and like I said, this may be what you're thinking now, but I do want you to go back and really, because you didn't know I was going to ask you this question. So if you know already, just write it down. But if you haven't quite figured it out yet, write down what you think, go back and edit it as you have time to meditate, pray, or reevaluate. But what are your top 3 business priorities for 2026? If you're selling hamburgers, are you going to be overly concerned about the hot dog? What are your priorities? What are the top 3 things you have to get done in your business this year? Or the top 3 things that have to take place in your business this year? Mhm. Mhm. Think of 3 things out of all the things you do, out of all the services you offer, out of all the things you do as a stay-at-home mom, what are 3 things you absolutely have to do in 2026? If you have an organization, a nonprofit, or if you have a ministry, or you have a job, you love your career, what are some of the things that the 3 top things you have to get done this year? And then activities or distractions to eliminate. Now we might have 10 items or 10 people or a mixture of both, but what are like 3 that you can think of right now? Like, I have got to, this is something that I absolutely got to get rid of this. Or it could be 3 habits that you just know, hey, or of social media. That was like one of the first things that popped in my mind was like, oh, I gotta do like the kids, put a timer on the phone like we do for the kids, so much screen time that they can have. That was one of the things that popped up immediately for me. And I'm gonna say this, like, ooh, toxic people, yes, ooh, Lord, yes. So one of the things I want to make sure is um that we're actively writing or jotting down, taking notes, or thinking about these questions as they come along. Truly want this to be interactive. Yes, yes. You say, I'm gonna take this quick phone call, and then that it never ending. And I think that's one of the distractions for me will be having to have the phone off or on silent, which is something that I haven't done in 25. It was one of the things that I want to do, maybe like have it on all silent, but then like have let the school be able to ring, like the phone be able to ring for the school if the school calls. So yeah, all right. So hopefully you all are thinking. I should have had some music. I know next time. All right. Your top three priorities for 2026 and your top three distractions that you need to eliminate. It could be activities, it could be people, it could be habits. Um, and if you can only think of one, you think about it later, come back, or if you got a list of 12 different things, write it down. Um, you know, all right. Oh, we're on time. All right, we're doing good on time. All right. Seek wisdom in your journey. Whew. So this one is especially for us leaders, business owners, and moms who run the household. Y'all know we keep it together. Oftentimes we provide all the answers for everybody. Ooh, excessive spending, yes. We're gonna get to that. Um, somebody said love is not profitable. I know, right? I love y'all. Um, so seeking wisdom. So sometimes for the leaders in us, we forget that we need pouring into. We pour out, we solving everybody's problem, we're fixing the world, we got on our cape, you know, if they need it, we got it. If they need to tell us, we're listening. I mean, we're just whew, a sponge. And so what I want to make sure is that we seek wisdom in our journey. And sometimes this is something that's not set in stone. I wouldn't say that this is concrete, like this is going to be the one person forever. It could be the person in this season. And so I want us to seek wisdom in our journey. So let's talk about what are our top three business advisors for 2026 and why. So the person that I talked to about my social media page may not be the same person that I'm going to talk to about my taxes, or it could be. But think about your business and every function of it, whether it's your home, if you're a homemaker, or if you're a business owner, if you have a ministry. Think about all the things, all the moving parts, and you want to categorize it. Okay, I have my taxes, all my tax things. I have the credit for the business or my credit for my personal, or however your finances. You have a whole financial department. I want you to think of yourself as a retail store. When you go into the store, the shoes in one department, y'all know we know where the shoes are, right? So the shoes are in one department, you have the food in another department, you have automotive in the back. So I want you to think about your business as if you had to take everything apart and put it in a department. And every department needs somebody running it. And you're like, hey, I'm a one-man show or one-woman show. I'm a solopreneur, or I may have two or three employees. I don't have 25 people working for me. Fine, we're gonna get to that. But I still, on paper, I want you to, and this is, like I said, some of this is gonna be homework. You're not gonna do all this now, but I want you to write it out. And I want you to put every part of your business in a department. So meaning that you have to list everything out, then categorize it, put it in a department. Where does my social media fall? Okay. Where do I put my LinkedIn, my Facebook? That's going to go in social media. What about my payroll? That's going to go in taxes. So you just start thinking about everything that your business does and put it in a department. And every department should have a leader, meaning that Once you get all your taxes listed, all the items that go with the taxes, the payroll, quarterly taxes, your business structure, should you be an S Corp, LLC, and all that. Once you get all that jotted down for your business name, state registration, the list goes on, the things we don't think about. Who is your tax advisor or the person that can give you advice? You don't want to be the expert in everything, but you want to be knowledgeable in everything. You want to have your hands in everything. You want to understand every part of your business. But who are you bouncing ideas off of? And if it's not anybody tangible, is there a podcast you can listen to that you trust? Is there someone you can follow on social media that gives advice? Find somebody to be not necessarily in charge, because ultimately you're in charge of that. You and the Lord, y'all are in charge of everything. But find somebody to run that department as far as giving you some advice. Okay. If it's your personal life, okay, I need to exercise more. Okay, well, you know who to put in charge of that. Not the extra person that don't want to go outside. Find somebody that you can trust that can give you some advice. Well, what should I eat? What I shouldn't eat? Don't put all of your expectations in one person. So I want you to figure out who are your top 3 business advisors and why. Why do you call this person for advice? You know how they call us for everything. So they're calling us. So who are you calling? Okay. Make sure every department has an advisor. All right. And then 3 things that you will learn for your business and why. Oh, I want to learn Japanese. Why? Are you gonna, how is that gonna help your business? Are you gonna start attracting Japanese clients? Are you going to Japan? Like, what is prompting you to want to learn that? Now, we're gonna naturally learn things because we love learning. I mean, we're just forever learners. Learning keeps us young, keeps us fresh, keeps us engaged. Should I learn another platform like TikTok? I'm clueless as to how it works. I got Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Okay, I'm done. I'm not about to go learn it because then I'm gonna want to learn how to dance. And so sometimes we make sure that when we learn the platform, are we going to use it? I have friends and I have clients that use TikTok and they're doing great with it. That's perfect. However, at this stage, that doesn't mean I won't learn it later. But right now, I don't need to learn it. I need to put my energy in some of the things I am learning. Like for instance, one of the things I am in the process of learning, I'm doing a certification for for my financial education business. And there's another test I have to take. So I'm learning that. So I'm studying for that. And so the purpose of me learning is so that I can apply it to my business to take my business to the next level. I showed you on the slide a while ago. We just scale. We got to take kids to school. We got to get continued education. We got to go get new wardrobe. We got to go. We got to go take walk. We got to do all these different things. Why are we going to add learning something that's not going to profit us? Learn something that you're going to apply, something that's going to profit your business or profit your home. Put it to good use. Your time is. Think about it. I really want you to just kind of a sidebar. Think about your day today. Did you have 30 minutes of pure relaxation, nothing to do, you wasn't in a rush, and you just had time on your hand, you were doing nothing, you were bored. Anybody was bored today? Okay, I don't think too many of us got bored today. We just said do less on Facebook and get on TikTok. You got to do a TikTok class for it. You can bring yourself with no expectations of being perfect. Ooh, that's a whole nother message. The screaming intentionally in the bathroom, yes, that does. Just go in there and just be like, turn the water on and go in there and woosah, because if that's going to keep you out of jail, yes, I want you to go in the bathroom and scream intentionally before you enter back into the world. um, so learning something new for your business or for your home. I only work half a day and got to Tammy, you just rubbing it in. I'm gonna do that Thursday. I'm sleeping in. My husband teased me, he said, your idea of sleeping in is sleeping till 7. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm gonna push it to 7:30. How about that? So you know, Oh, how to say no. Yep. That's a learning. That's something to learn. Learn how to say no. That's learning. Try a car wash and then you can. Ooh. So now when I go through the car wash, I'm gonna be screaming. I'm like, what is wrong with that lady? All right, let's see. Learn how to say no. Y'all are too cute in these comments. All right. So we're going to seek wisdom. We're going to compartmentalize our business. We're going to write down everything that our business does, and I want you to have in your mind a major department store, and each part of that store has a part of your business, and someone is in charge. And when I say that, I mean I don't mean that literally. I mean that in an example way, because you are in charge of your business. But I want you to know that, hey, if I need to do something with my social media and it's not my skill set and it's not something I like to do, let me find an advisor in social media. Let me find an advisor in taxes. Let me find an advisor in my business plan. So just kind of have that. And three things I want to learn and why. The time that you will spend in learning, will it equate to profit or time redemption, time freedom for your business? All right, so this is the screen that you're going to take a picture of. I'm going to go over these questions. You are going to do this for homework. You can take a picture of it, or if you write really fast, kudos to you, write it all down. This is going to be something that we're going to hold you accountable for. You got to do your homework. Y'all didn't think y'all were going to get on here and we were just going to have a magic wand or some pixie dust and fix everything. No, you got to do the work. You're the one wanting to start this business and have this family and do all this stuff. So guess what? Now you got to prioritize, plan it out, pray over it, and put the work in. All right. So let me move this out of my way so I can see. All right. Hold on 1 second, y'all. We're trying to meeting. Okay, here we go. All right. So 2026 vision. What does success look like? And everybody will have something different, or may have some things that are similar or the same. So what does success look like for you? Primary revenue goal for 2026. How much money do you need? You gotta have a money goal. If 6 figures is your goal, what does that look like? Break that down. What does that revenue goal look like for you? Top revenue stream. So for those of us that do multiple things, what's going to generate the most income for us? All right. Ideal client. I saw earlier somebody put leaving toxic people behind. So obviously we're not doing toxic people. So that's clear. We're clear with that. Core problem that you solve. If like I said, if you're the hamburger fan, you're solving people problem who love hamburger. All right. The CEO level decision you will make. What are some things that you got to come in? You got to execute. You have somebody on your team that's toxic. Do you need to fire them, retrain them, give them another chance, put them on a sabbatical? What? You got to come in and have those tough conversations. What is something that you got to face up and square off with for 2026? We're going to talk a little bit about delegating and automate. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but I want you to, number 7 is going to be really important. Primary marketing. What's going to be your visibility channel? Kitty just mentioned TikTok. Like, where's your number one place? For me right now, it's Facebook, but I am leaning toward 2026 being LinkedIn. So that's why I'm aiming for. One boundary to protect your energy. Well, we already know we're not doing toxic people, so somebody must have a story to tell. I think I saw that twice on here already. And then your word or theme for 2026. We get that every year. Do we really think about what is our word? And when we come up with the word, is it action behind it? I remember one year, I think Kitty, if you can correct me, I think one year the word was elevate somewhere else with the word was elevate, and it was your word. I was like, like, oh my God, it's elevate, and that was the word for her. And it was just like, okay. And she did elevate. She actually elevated, because I was watching. I was like, that was her word. Let's see if she elevate. And she elevated. So we don't want to just pick a word, but we want to what's the word, and whatever the word is that come to us, or the phrase that come to us for 2026 should be our motto. My phrase for 25 was let's go. And the people that are on my team, they probably sick of hearing me say it, but just about every other time I'm saying let's go, let's go. It was 25, my theme was let's go, let's go. So I'm excited to see what it is for 26. I don't know what it is yet. But if you're on my business team, let's go was my word. All right. Or words. All right. Oh, let me go back real quick. I'm sorry. In case was anybody still writing? I want to make sure. I'm sorry. I just kind of went real fast. I'm getting ready. Yep. Monique, that's right. Let's go. That's the theme all of 26. I know y'all probably so glad I'm gonna come up with a new phrase. But anyway, let's go. All right, so we're gonna go into the next part. Hopefully you guys took a screenshot of that. All right, business system. Save yourself time, energy, and money. So we're gonna take a few minutes, and we're gonna talk about defining your core business system. By creating and following a system you will maintain. That's the key word. Don't just create a system or download a system, purchase a system, and then you don't follow it. 2025 was different, and God definitely had me doing things differently. You just different. Let me tell you about Kitty real quick. She's just my different friend. I love that about her. She thinks outside the box. She keeps me, because I can be so professional and so robotic. If you don't have somebody in your circle that's different, that thinks outside of the box and be like, girl, you gonna do that for real? You need to get you one of those friends, because if not, you're gonna be like me, just stuck in a box and robotic. So she helped get me out of that. So I shout out to you for that. So you want to make sure that your system is something that you can do, and it's something that you're going to be committed to. And so what I mean by that, I love notebooks. I'm old school notebooks. I mean, I love pen and paper. I got to feel it. I love writing. And I can run my business with a notebook. Now I do have software and all that. Y'all don't freak. I do have software that I use that I like. But I could actually, if I had to, I could survive off of pen and paper, and everything would run smoothly. Somebody else, they be like, what notebook? They can't even find a pen. Everything is on the iPad. Everything is on some app. They got some logging in. I'm like, okay, you got a lot going on. They got an iPad. They got the phone. They got a laptop. They got a computer. Yeah. So it depends. So if your system is pen and paper, I want you to do what's going to be consistent. Now, I am going to have to say, for those of you who aren't embracing AI and technology, y'all got to come on out of the Stone Age, and you do have to embrace it, and you do have to use, because I do have digital systems. However, there are just something, and this is just me. I'll write some stuff down, and then I'll go and put it in my digital system. And I think that's just a preference. It could just be a behavior, a preference that I have. However, the key to it is to not be pressured. Someone else is using QuickBooks. I'm gonna go run and get QuickBooks. Why? You don't even know how to use it. Get something that you're gonna keep up with, a spreadsheet, Excel. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging. Use what you're going to manage. Use what you're going to be committed to until you can have that foundation laid, and then elevate and learn something new, and then do something else. But don't just go out and do some business system because somebody said it's the latest and greatest, and then you're spending all this money. You're not going to learn how to use it correctly. You're not going to be consistent. So you're not only going to lose money, you're going to lose time, and then you're going to get frustrated. And now you got to put more time in to figure it all out. Sounds horrible, right? So save yourself some time, energy, and money, and create a business system, or use the one that you have and use it to get your business off the ground and running. Take it to the next level. So you want a system that's going to help you evaluate your business. So you want to know, are you making money, or you just have a hobby you like doing? So how can you gauge if your business is successful financially? What bookkeeping system are you using? If you're just selling a product or offering a service, somebody pays you, then you spend what you need, but you're not tracking it, are you making money? Or if you have multiple products or services that you offer, which one is most profitable? If you don't have a system, you won't know. You should be able to log in at any given moment and say, hey, how did my month of September do? What month last year was your best month? Can you tell me? Or is it going to take you 3 weeks to go get all those receipts and put everything down? And, it's about to be tax season. Please don't do your tax preparer like that. Let's get organized. Come on, let's get it together. Evaluate. You also want a system that'll help you automate something. I guess I'm kind of telling myself I'm a 70s baby, so I guess I'm kind of old school sometimes. I don't want automated everything. Are you gonna pick up the phone and call somebody sometimes? I don't want just emails from you. Can I hear your voice? Y'all know who we are. We're those people that call that number. I want to speak to an operator. I want to speak, we yelling at the phone. Yes, that's who we are. We don't want the automated system at times, but then we want everybody else to just go to our automated system. So we want to automate some things that will help save us time and make it more efficient for us to help our clients. But we don't want to just be total automation. And if you don't have any automation, let's get some in. Delegate. There are some things that you can do and that you're pretty good at, but let somebody else do it. Okay? Don't try to do everything. Eliminate. There are some things in your business you just need to toss out. It ain't serving you no purpose. Your clients don't buy it. It's just taking up space. It just was a bad thing. I mean, it just didn't work. Just let it go. like my grandbaby say, let it go. Just let it go. Eliminate it. And it could be people too, but your business system, if you have it set up, it will let you know how you're doing. You can use it to evaluate your business, find out like what's working, what's not. It'll help you automate some things that you can do. You'll also learn how to, like, I'm good at this, but I think I need to delegate this to somebody else so that I can use my time to do something I'm great at or something I love doing. If it's something you don't like doing, but you can do it, chances are you need to let somebody else do it, because if you don't like doing something, you're going to take twice as long to do it. And there's time away that you could have been doing something you're great at, which means you can earn more money or save more time. And duplicate. Your business system will let you know what you can duplicate, meaning that if you're not available, can your business still run? A little later on, if we get a chance, we'll talk about estate plan. Is your business something somebody can come behind you, pick up, and keep going? Or if you go to business goals? So I want you to think about that. All right, so we are going to bring up one of our guest speakers for tonight. She's going to come on really quick. Y'all maybe get a little break from hearing my mouth. And so we are going to bring up Miss Courtney Elsie. All right, I'm going to read her bio. She is the principal owner of MCDS LLC, a boutique management consulting firm specializing in planning and management of cross-functional business operations. There we go, some business systems for public and private entities of all sizes. Through MCDS, Courtney also provides technical and documentation services to individuals or groups seeking to establish new ventures, secure funding. Ooh, that magic word, secure some money, and specific business certification. With over 18 years of experience in government In the government arena, Courtney has gained extensive knowledge of project and construction management, disaster recovery, as well as contract procurement and administration. Her background has made her a trusted advisor, there go our word, to all of her clients. She has helped numerous private nonprofits secure and execute funding from various state and federal entities. Since January 2021, Courtney has also been utilized as a business advisor for Urban League of Louisiana and their various efforts and programs. In 2022, Courtney expanded her entrepreneur portfolio by acquiring the Collective Oak Harbor, a co-working office space that offers flexible work solutions and foster collaboration among small business owners. So at this time, I am going to turn it over to Miss Courtney Elsie. She's going to come and talk to us really quick about something that she has upcoming.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. And you jump right into it, Candy. Thank you so much for doing this um, effort tonight. I thought you was gonna go into some Q&A before you jumped into us sharing our business tonight.
I
Uh,
can.
but thank you so much. Again, thank you for allowing me to present my business. And I'm not going to stay on long. But again, I am a fellow small business owner here in the Slidell area. I do management consulting. I also own a co-working office suite where I offer small businesses like mine an opportunity and a space to come in and just be free and be able and be flexible in their entrepreneurship. We offer classes, we offer space to be able to conduct business. We also, for those who don't have a business space, we also offer virtual mailbox services for those who need business addresses and things of such. A conference room space. We have a flex office if you just need like an hour to come in and just use an office space. So somewhere somebody said they go to the car wash and scream. If you just need somewhere to come and sit, we have people that just come to sit down just to talk. We have that opportunity. I also rent out and lease office spaces to other businesses. We have um, office space for lease as well. Um, but I do offer classes. One of my services is to God has gifted me or allowed me opportunities to sit in spaces and to be in the midst of many to learn uh, uh, just a host of different things. And through that learning, I try my best not to gatekeep that information. And like Candy has been doing, she's been sharing. And that's, I think that's been one of our commonalities. We love to share and we love to give back to those that are similar to us, that are learning and continuing to learn in this entrepreneurial space. And I am hosting a class for those who love to or who are wanting to venture into the government arena. As Candy says, I have years of government experience. I come from the government arena. Working in the federal government for over, I worked for 16 years before deciding to become a stay-at-home mom, and that stay-at-home mom morphed into entrepreneurship. And this, I'm now entering into year 9 of entrepreneurship. Thank you, Lord. 2026 will be year 9 as an entrepreneur. So I will be teaching a class. I teach classes for Urban League. I teach classes for other entities as well, but I will be teaching a class starting my entrepreneur series in 2026 on how to get into the federal government arena, one being sam.gov. That's the first step of entering into federal government contracting is that you have to have an active sam.gov account. So I will be doing a live webinar on how to register with sam.gov. That's the System Award Management platform that SBA, well, not SBA, GSA, the General Services Administration, manages for the federal government, for anybody who wants to do any business with the federal government. and I walk clients and the participants step by step on how to register. And typically I charge for this class, but for participating in this um, presentation tonight, you will be, if you register for this class on January 31st, which is a Saturday, you can attend it for free using the code MBS, which stands for Martin Business Solution. So you can register. It's Eventbrite if you use that QR code, or you can visit my website, and I'll make sure my website is updated. I had my social media person who was supposed to update it this morning, but I'm not certain if they did it or not. But I'll make sure it's updated at least by tonight um, with the Eventbrite link that you can register. But it is on Saturday, January 31st at 10 a.m. It is a online webinar where we will walk through step by step. It is 3 hours that we allocated for because it is an intense webinar. It is a lot of information. Going through sam.gov is not for the faint of heart, and people can get discouraged, and they make it that way intentionally. So we're going to walk through it step by step. So if you are interested, and that's for anybody who's, if you're not an entrepreneur, if you are interested in federal grants, if you're interested in anything dealing with the federal government, guess what? Your first step is you have to have an active sam.gov account. And this class teaches you how to register with sam.gov. So, as I stated, as being part of this class tonight, you can register for free. So, thank you, Candy, for the opportunity to allow me to share this with your participants tonight. And I hope you all had a great holiday and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much for that, Courtney. Look, and the government buys everything from what I understand.
And
From
they do,
from
from paper
ice.
clips to rockets. So they buy everything, literally everything. The not only the federal government, but the state government. I recently just gave up a 5-year contract. I had a 5-year contract, and Candy knows I was selling lock and jail to the prison system. And when I say lock and jail, like the lock and jail we put in our hair to do our hair, I was going to buy it from the Dollar General and selling it to them. I was buying it for $4 from the Dollar General that I would go right around the corner and buy, and selling it to them for double the price. I was doing that for 5 years. That and do rags. And I just recently gave it to one of my friends to do. So yeah, they buy everything.
Everything.
Everything. Anything you can ever imagine, they'll buy it.
So
So, but the key is being positioned to be able to obtain those contracts. And first thing is that you got to be positioned and be registered. And one of my first classes is being registered for the federal. I'll also be hosting a class to register for state government because there's a registration process for state, and each state has a different procurement registration process. So we'll be having one for the state of Louisiana coming up in February.
mhm. But
Uh,
thank you, Ms. Courtney. Thank you. Look, let me tell you, if it's a service, if it's a product, if it's an organization, you definitely want to attend this workshop. And oftentimes people find that they have everything that they need already. They just was not properly set up. So thank you so much for that, Courtney. And like she said, here's the discount code here. In the follow-up email that I will send out, I'll include the link there as well. All right. And I did put Courtney's website in the chat. So, all right, thank you so much. All right, so the next thing we're gonna keep it rolling. So jot down what you need, take what take what you have to have. This is gonna be a working workshop. So value-based strategy, setting a value-based pricing strategy. She just talked about that the government buys everything, but you gotta also have the price right. So let's figure out what our pricing is. Now, of course, like I said, we may not solve your actual, each part of your business challenges on tonight, but we are hoping to give you the tools and resources so that you can go back and get in there and get what you need done. So one of the things about value-based, let me go back. Oh, I'm going too fast. Setting a value-based pricing strategy aligns your income goals with the worth of your offering. So if you're selling, if you say, hey, I got to make $100 by the end of the week, you can't sell 10 items for $5. You're going to be short. So if you know your goal is to get to 100 and you need to sell them, you need to sell 10 items for $10 or 5 for 20, you got to know what you're aiming toward to make sure that you meet your pricing goal so that your revenue is equal. I know we all have harder goals and we just want to give everything away. And sometimes pricing can be a challenge because we got to make sure that our offerings and our discounts are budgeted. If you don't budget and plan your discounts and offerings, you could actually give away your profit. And then you'll be shorthanded at the end of the year. So we want to make sure that you even budget for your discount, you budget for your offering, your buy one, get one free. All of that has a cost to it. It may be free for someone else, but it's a cost to you. So I'm gonna kind of just go through this. And just like Courtney is offering to take the class, it's a little different for me. I do have classes already there. You can go there, register for the classes, and you can also do a one-on-one. So you may not get all of this tonight, but guess what? We can get started. So you need to have your pricing strategy versus myth. And what I mean by that is you can hear things like people say, well, give it away and it'll come back to you. You might want to do a budget and make sure that you have covered the cost, because what you don't want is to be in the red. Okay. Do you charge hourly or per project? It depends. All right. You need to have a defined scope of work. Now, this is something Courtney is great at too. She don't know that I'm about to just tell all her business. She is great at helping you get, what's the capability statement? I think that's one of the things, if you need that. But she's also great at helping you define your scope of work. It was something that I learned in one of my first classes with her, being very defined of what your scope of work is. Someone could pay you for service A, but then they come to you, they want A, B, C, and D. No, let's go back to the scope of work. I agree to do this for this price. Sure, I can do the other thing, but guess what? Here is the updated invoice to make that happen. That kind of goes back to earlier saying no and getting rid of toxic people. That also means toxic clients or customers if you're selling products. So we want to make sure that we define what our scope of work is and that we execute what we said we're going to do. If a person pays you for X, Y, and Z, then we should serve them X, Y, and Z. And if it comes to a point to where we're not able to deliver, we need to go back and adjust the invoice, issue a refund or a credit, and have a conversation, keeping the lines of communications open. This is where we are, for whatever reason. Cost and profit. We just talked about that. You gotta know what your goal is, your financial goal. Like, what is it that you have to reach in order for this business to be successful? If your building rent is $500, you certainly can't earn $400 a month. You gotta at least have a place to have the business. So you gotta know your numbers. You have to know what it is that you have to, what are your requirements? Then everything else can be laying up and be profit. But you gotta know your cost. What is coming out of your pocket? Your business should pay for itself. All of your expenses that your business incur, if you have an online business or if you have a platform, all your platform fees, all of those things should be paid for from your business, not your personal income. And that's a whole nother conversation about commingling personal and business money. That's another class for another day. But we got to know our cost to know if we're making a profit. Contracts and chargebacks. Without written agreements, that could lead to chargeback, which is a negative for our business. So I want to make sure that you understand what your contract is, going back to that scope of work. You want to make sure that you have, if you're taking credit cards or if you're taking checks, you want to make sure that you have something in place that protects you from having chargebacks. if you are in a business that pays you later, so for example, you render the services today and it pays you later once everything's settled, you want to make sure that you have done all of the upfront vetting of that client so that you don't have chargebacks. Nothing worse than having a chargeback because you've actually done the work. So, but you have to have your contract. Some people make a living out of scamming. And oftentimes, small business owners, we're generally, for the most part, we have big hearts. I mean, being an entrepreneur or a business owner means you are technically your server. You're a server, so you have a servant heart, and you want to give, and you want to, unless you didn't, been around the block a few times, you be like, you know what, I didn't learn my lesson. My grandma used to say a bought lesson is a learned lesson. So sometimes I've learned a few lessons. So maybe not as much now, but as a business owner, we have to take charge of our contract and we have to be upfront with people and we have to charge what we have to charge. Make sure you're in the right market, meaning that if you are selling cakes and pies, you shouldn't be at the hamburger stand, maybe. Maybe you should be at the bakery fair instead of the hamburger festival. Make sure that you have your target market identified. That may be something that you want to get with your social media person about, or someone that helps you with your branding, or that is social media, your branding, your marketing, and things of that nature to make sure that you're in the right market. That doesn't mean that you won't offer your product or service to someone else, or that someone else can't buy your products or services if they're not in your market. But where you're going to spend your marketing dollars, you want to spend that in your target market. Discounts and inflation. I kind of said that a few times. Make sure that your discount are accounted for in advance. That is part of your budget. You know what you can give for the year. That even goes with charity donations. For small business owners, they want us to get an ad for the soccer team. They want us to buy a book in the chocolate bake sale. They want us to sponsor this and sponsor that. Have a budget already. If your budget is $500 a year for charity, when you've gotten to the 500, there is no 501. I have met my charity budget for the year. They can't understand that, come back next year. I have, for sponsorship, I have corporate people, they will tell you, oh, we've maxed our budget for the year. And that's how they keep their money. They're not giving away the profit. And don't forget to count for inflation. I believe, I see a few people, and somebody may be able to correct me, but I think inflation is about 2.9% a year. So if you're charging something today and it's the same product, don't forget to count inflation. My business fees have been the same for the last 10 years. I already said 2027, I'm going to have to incorporate inflation because I have been tracking. I know where my profit is. And so if I'm going to maintain the business, I have to account for inflation. And so do you. Those are words and terms that we normally don't use as small business owners, but we should. Those words aren't just for the Fortune 500 companies on Wall Street. This is why a lot of mom and pop don't succeed. They are not counting the discount as part of their budget. They're not accounting for inflation in the loan market, don't have contracts in place to safeguard against chargebacks, not counting the cost, and not monitoring your profits. If you want to be successful and you really love what you do, then you want to make sure that you have these things. And then last on this slide, clear communication. What you articulate, not just verbally on the phone or in person. What do you have on your website? Like Courtney just mentioned that she's going to have someone to go in because she's delegating. She didn't say she was going to do it. She said she's going to make sure that someone else make sure that her website is updated. But you want to clearly communicate on your social media and on your website what you offer, what your fees are. And you don't have to put your fees on your website. Some people don't put their fees publicly. You don't have to do that. But when a person get ready to put ink to paper, is it clearly communicated what you're going to offer and what you expect? Make sure that that's clear and update it. Life happens, things change. Hey, it's your business. If you want to get fancy and add $5 more to it, guess what? It's your products or your services. Nobody can tell you what to charge. It's yours. We can give recommendations, but ultimately, this is your business. Make sure that you clearly communicate that. And most of all, too, time deliverable. When can a person expect it? What is your cutoff? People are like, I know tomorrow's the deadline, but can you give me till next week? Tomorrow is the deadline. If you want it next week, if you want it sooner than that, and you want something outside of the deadline, we may have to revisit the contract. Okay. Start having those tough conversations. Gotta have to. All right. So I want you to take a picture of this screen. This is going to be something else that we're going to come back to. Value your worth and your contribution. You want to make sure that you prepare, that you know your stuff, that you practice, get the experience. Look, call me. Say, look, hey, I got to call this client and I got to have a tough conversation with them and I got to charge them more money. Call me and let's practice. I'll play like I'm the client. I'll give you a hard time and I'll help you get those jitters out so that when you call them, you're fully confident. Let's practice. Position yourself in the right target market so that you can get more yeses, and pray. Don't forget to pray. And look, we should be praying because some of these clients will take you there. You need to pray before you make some of these phone calls. Pray, seek godly guidance. So you want to prepare, you want to know your stuff, you want to know your craft, you want to practice, you want to position yourself in the right market, and you want to pray. When you know your worth, you don't have a problem charging the fee. All right. We're going to get ready for our next guest speaker in just a second. And so this is where we're going to come to kind of pulling it all together. We got, and don't worry, I'm going to go back through the slides to make sure everybody got everything, because I thought we had a few people that came in a little once we had already started. But you want to write it all down. And I know if you're like me, you have a digital platform, but we also want to make sure that we get in there and we write it out. We, put a poster board up and kind of like write it all out. Because when you put a plan in place, it should be a plan that you should follow. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you have thought about everything, that you have it on, like, hey, I think I want to sell hamburgers. Okay, well, what kind? You want to be able to get messy with it and write it all out and have conversations. Call your advisor, like, hey, should I do this or should I not? Get some conversation going. Hey, what do you think about my veggie burgers? They're like, girl, your veggie burgers are awful. Please don't sell that to anybody. Take the constructive criticism, just teasing. But you want to take the time to write it out so that when you put your plan on paper or in your software, that is something that you can follow. If you're here and you're a stay-at-home mom and you're saying, hey, what is my family going to do this year? What is it going to look like? We're going to have dinner at 5, or we're going to have Friday's going to be eat out night, or whatever your plans are that you're making for your family. We're going to save an extra $300 a month, whatever the plan is. You want to be able to have had thought put behind it so that you can start putting the plan in action. And how will you track it? Well, one of the ways you're going to track some of this stuff that we've been doing tonight is you're going to join the band that we've created. I'm going to make sure that everybody has access to it, where we're going to help each other get through 2026. And we're going to be like, hey, girl, you said you were going to make an extra $500 a month. How we coming? Well, this month I only made $333. Hey, we're gonna. I find that when we announce what we're gonna do, because we're human, and we feel like we're on an amplified stage, we do better. We perform. Y'all know what it's like when the lights come on. It's showtime. Versus when we're at home, we kind of like lallygagging with it. But when we're on that stage and we got that pressure, we do what we say we're gonna do. So how will you track it? Is it going to be digital? You're going to put it in a notebook? You're going to write your goals out? When are you going to check it? Like, we're going to write this down and we're going to put some time and deadlines to it. And what is going to be your method of accountability? If you trusted yourself to do everything that you said that you're going to do, we wouldn't be on here tonight. We all be on some island we said we were going to be on because we were going to travel more this year and we were going to be 7 and 8 figure earners already. Wouldn't be here. So what are we going to do to put accountability in place? I'm going to go visit the nursing home more often. I'm going to spend more time with my children. I'm going to, I'm going to make sure that my employees show up for work on time. If not, I'm going to write them up. Like, what is it that you're going to do how are you going to track your accountability? We're going to write it out. We're going to write it out, whether that's on paper or on some digital format, but we're going to write out our plan. And then we're going to hold ourselves accountable because we're going to be able to track our progress. All right, so our next guest speaker, Miss Kitty Austin, I'm going to read her bio and then I am going to allow her to take the stage. Kitty is an award-winning author, a book strategist, a wellness coach, dedicated to helping individuals uncover their voice, tell their story with purpose, and live aligned whole lives. As the founder of Elevate Her Up LLC, Kitty supports aspiring authors through every stage of the writing journey. So if you've been thinking about writing that book, hey, from idea development and manuscript strategy to refinement of publication. You need to put something out. Hey, here we go. And impact-driven messaging. You don't want to just put something out. You want it to make an impact. So with a deep belief that stories are tools for healing, telling our stories, growth, and empowerment, Kitty blends practical book strategy and faith-based insight. Her work recognizes that writing is not only a creative process, but an emotional and spiritual one. Through coaching, workshops, and retreats, she helps clients break through fear, perfectionism, and burnout, creating a space for clarity, confidence, and sustainable creativity. I think I need all that last little paragraph. I think we kind of could use some of that. All right, so I am going to stop share. Kitty, you should be able to let me.
You want me to share it?
It's up to you. If you want to share the screen tonight, if you want to just talk for now, or just tell me what you want me to do. I'm your assistant.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, you know what? Because you're on a different one. Hold on. The other one. I need to find the other one. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
But there you are the co-host. All right. All right. So let's find the other one. Let me just type it in. Hold on. Kitty.
It should be the one without the picture.
Oh, okay. Duh. I could figure that out, huh? Y'all don't pay us no attention. That's how our friends do. She just do me like that. So unprofessional. No, I'm just playing. All right, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll put this one up right now. Okay. Hello, everybody. I hope y'all are enjoying this workshop. This is some really great information that Candy is distributing to us. Some of these questions, I'm definitely going to have to go back and do some homework because some of them I just could not answer right then and there. But I'm looking forward to the platform that she was telling us about, which is called Band. I haven't used it yet, but I'm excited to try it out because I understand that community is very important, especially, in settings like this, because we don't want to just take the information and destroy it to the shelf. We want to be able to apply the information so that we can grow in all areas of our lives. And so one of the things that I do for you all that don't know me, like she says, I'm a book strategist. I tried the book coaching thing, but with coaching, you have to kind of like just give information and not give information, but ask like all these questions and then allow you all to do everything you need to do. And I'm sure Candy can attest to this. I have so much going on. Like you'll be talking about something, and I've already come up with this big old plan for you. Okay. And a lot of it, like she said, is out of the box. And so I moved over from the coaching to the strategist because I really enjoy helping people more and giving feedback and giving advice and just, kind of taking you along on the journey instead of just kind of leaving you on an island by yourself. And so, as a book strategist, what do I do? So I help. My main target is faith-based women to write their books, to find their voice and write their books. It may look, I'm not talking about memoirs. I'm not talking because, most people here write a book and they say, oh, I want to write a book about my life. Like, do anybody really want to know about your life? Like, I don't think anybody really wants to know that much detail about my life. And if I decide to write a book about my life, I just feel like I have to tell all because sometimes people can know when gaps are there, right? And so you might be wanting to write a cookbook, you might want to write a business book for whatever your business is. I tell business owners that a book can be your business card, right? And so you can write a book, and it don't have to be like a paperback book. It could be an ebook, right? And you can write that book, and you want to give them just enough information to make them want to call you, right? Just enough information to say, you know what? She might be an expert in this field. Let me give her a call to see what steps I should take or what I need to do. It may be a children's book. It may be a nonfiction. Nonfiction has so many different categories. It might be a fiction book. I actually tried my hand at a fiction book last year. Yeah, it was 2024, and it actually turned out better than I thought because I would rather try something and fail at it than not to try at all. Because to me, fail is the first attempt in learning. So all I did, if you fail, all you do is you've learned that, okay, this won't work. That was my first attempt in learning that this won't work, so I need to do something else. So fail is it's not a bad word, like society has us to believe. And so one of the things that I am offering for 2026 is a manuscript review because some people aren't ready for the whole thing with editing and formatting and getting ready for publication. And so what I'm going to offer for 2026 is a manuscript review where it's going to be professional, encouraging feedback for aspiring authors ready to strengthen their writing, right? So you might have you wrote 3 chapters and you're not sure which way it's going, and so you might say, hey, I need somebody to read this one chapter. Sometimes your friend can read the chapter, sometimes they can't, because they might just be able to say, oh, that's good, but they might not be able to give you any feedback to cause you to think a little more or to just kind of direct you in different ways. And so I have 4 tiers that I'm going to be offering. One of them is like if you have 1 chapter you need reviewed, 3 chapters, 5 chapters, the full manuscript. And then it's not on this flyer, but I thought about it after. I don't even know how I forgot it because I write children's books. But so it's actually going to be 5 tiers. So I added children's book, and all of it is on my website. I just didn't update the flyer yet. And so you'll receive thoughtful, constructive manuscript feedback, writing suggestions to improve clarity, flow, and voice, and actionable guidance that you can actually use, right? And so what I also want you to know is this will not be about editing or proofreading. So I'm not going to be concerned about your grammar. I'm not going to be concerned about your punctuation. And one of the things that I tell people all the time that come to me is that you can't edit a blank page. So you don't have to be a great writer. You just need great information and great story, right? And so that one of the other things, I hope I'm doing this right, Candy, because I'm not
Which
okay. It made sense. Look, it moved. It made sense. And so one of the other things that I offer is accountability writing sprints, right? And so I have two sessions, a 30-minute and a 1 hour session. And what it is you get writing exercise, you get timed writing, and of course, with that comes the boosted confidence and the productivity. And I do it in group settings, and I also do it in individual settings, right? And if you book multiple sessions, then you get a discount. But the accountability writing sprint, I do have some people on here that have already participated in it. And I promise you, you might be like 30 minutes because I tell people all the time, you can write for 5 minutes and get so much done. You know, some people say, I don't have time to write. I say, you use the bathroom sometimes, don't you? So, you know, that's just something just to show you, right? And so, yeah, Monique actually did a series of them. And she was like, the first time she was like surprised at how much she wrote in a matter of 15 minutes. And so sometimes when you have somebody that you can hold you accountable, then you tend to get more done. And so, and with this one, you get a free worksheet included and things like that. But this is the kind of things that I offer. Um, and like I say, especially with the business owners, the entrepreneurs, things like that, if you have some information that I'm reading, okay, if you have some information for your clients or for your customers, it doesn't matter what your business is. It doesn't matter if you have a service or if you have a product. You can create a small ebook or you can create a book. And let that also generate additional funds for you because ebooks sell themselves. Once you get it done, you put it out there and it's just a constant flow, right? And so that is what I offer. And I think, Candy, that is it for me.
All right, well, thank you. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Let's get this here. Let's see. Let me get back over here. And I hope you all are writing your questions down or thinking of questions you may have for later. Courtney says she needs the ebook. Awesome. Just kind of reading through the chat.
You're on mute, Candy.
Oh, I'm just going to town. Thank you. I mean, I was rolling. Okay. All right. So, yes, I was answering Angel's question. Yes, I'm going to make sure that when this is over, I'm going to compile our follow-up email. I actually already started. I'm going to put the links in that everyone mentioned here, how to get in touch with Kitty and Courtney, as myself as well, with some upcoming classes and some other information that you'll need. And one of the main things I'm going to put in there is the link to the Pretty Girls Pray, our band group, where we're able to hold each other accountable and where we'll share the proverb challenge, the reading the proverb challenge, and it's going to be fun. So I don't want us to just be on here this one night. We wouldn't possibly be able to solve everything in one evening, but we'll be able to collaborate through, support each of your events, to kind of stay connected. This is a part of what Women in Business does, which is my nonprofit. Courtney and Kitty both sit on the board, and Monique as well. And so what our goal is for 26 is to continue what we're doing tonight throughout the year. Oftentimes people stir up things in us and then tell you to go and be great. No, we're going to stir it up tonight, and then all year long we're going to be, hey, pretty girl, what happened? Did you plan? Did it come through? Did we try it and it failed? Did we do it and it succeeded? What can we do to help support you, especially as a small business owner or stay-at-home mom, or a school teacher, or whatever your leadership role is? We want to make sure not only do you have the resources and the tools to be successful, but the community as well. All right, so I'm going to get to our last segment. And yes, so each of the flyers that are shared tonight, you'll have those, you'll have the links And you'll have some other resources going to be all in that email. The email that you registered with is the email I'm going to send it to. Hey, Tammy, I just realized you were on here. I'm so glad to see you. Tammy came to one of our business planning meetings about 3 years ago. So I'm excited to see you on. All right, let's talk about the money. Anybody need some money, want some more money, got a lot of money, could use more, or not enough and need to get it going? Look, 2026 is your year. So one of the things, like I mentioned earlier, I don't care how great your plan is and how much we put together and all the great ideas, you will need some funds at some point. Whether it's a nonprofit, you probably need more money. If it's a ministry, if it's a business, if it's a Fortune 500 company, is a mom and pop, or if you're even thinking about it, to be able to even create the LLC costs money. So finances have to be a part of your planning. And whether that's personal or business, don't forget, small business owners, you are people, you're humans. You need money. And so one of the things we definitely want to do is to make sure that you're equipped. And I see some of my fellow financial educators on here. Hey, Yolanda. Hey, Shafan. I see y'all on here. Monique, I see y'all. Y'all are in here. Our goal is to make sure that you have a sustainable financial plan. Not someone telling you do this or do that, but educating you why you should or shouldn't do something, or what is some advice, something that you can learn yourself and get an understanding. Marcy, I know that this is something dear to you as well, financial literacy. So we want to make sure that you're educated. So I'm going to do this slide. I'm going to go through this one really fast because we want to be done by 8. I'm on Central Time too, so I know a few of you on the Eastern Standard Time. I know y'all are like, ooh, I'm getting sleepy. Y'all know back in the day we were just eating and getting ready to get dressed. So so come on in with the energy. Come on in with the energy. So financial plan. So we want to make sure that you create a budget. And I told a client this earlier. A budget is not telling you what you can't do. A budget allows you to do the things you want to do. So if you put together a well enough budget, you'll be able to do all the things that you want to accomplish. Oftentimes when we hear the word budget, we start thinking, I can't do this, I can't do that, I won't be able to do this, I got to get rid of this. I mean, it just go negative real quick. Who wants to do anything? I wouldn't want to have any part of that either. But a budget, if you create it and you sit with it and you understand it and you put it together and you allow someone to guide you through that, a budget can be a really great thing. In my personal, I guess in my business too, travel is a part of my budget. It's something I love to do. So if it's something you love to do, don't eliminate it. Put it in the plan. Now, it doesn't mean I can't go to Bora Bora tomorrow, but you know, I can go over to Mississippi now, just teasing. I can go, you know, I can go a few places, but it's part of my travel budget. We got a convention coming up next month, y'all. I'm so ready to go. I actually started packing. Like I got an outfit or 2 already in the suitcase. I'm probably gonna change like 10 times, but hey, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. And so if it's something that you love to do, put it in your budget. Okay. And throughout the year, you want to monitor it, you want to update it and see what adjustments need to be made. Life happens, things change. So if you have a budget, like Kitty just said, you can't edit a blank page. So if you have a written budget or a digital budget, it can, and now don't be changing it just to change it because you want to do something that wasn't in the budget. That's not what I mean. So what I'm saying is, if something needs to be edited, it has to be created in order for it to be edited. I want you to scan the QR code there. That is a video that I did on the rule of 72. I don't have time to get into it, but trust me, if you don't know what the rule of 72 is, put it out in the chat. Put in there, yes, I know the rule of 72, or no, I don't know the rule of 72. No judgment, either way. Yes, I know it. No, I don't know it. Put that in the chat for me. And I want you to scan this QR code. And later on, and it will be in the email, Someone had already asked me. It is one of the links already in the email where you can go back and watch the video. I think it's like 5 minutes. I mean, we got 5 minutes. Kitty just told us we could do a lot in 5 minutes. So all the excuses just got thrown out the window. And so I want you to go back and watch it. And the rule of 72, anytime you want to get into financial planning and learning about your budget, putting together a budget, especially for a business, you need to know the rule of 72. Learn it, understand it, ask questions. It is the one of the foundational things to having a good budget. So I want to make sure that you know that. All right, no gatekeeping here with sharing. Financial literacy. Read it, understand things. When you have a business, you can't just wing it. You got to know the financial jargon. If you don't understand it, ask questions. If you don't have a financial advisor that you can ask questions to, get you another one. Get someone that's going to share and explain it to you on your level without making you feel like you should have knew this already. No, I don't know that. They didn't teach it in school. We didn't talk about it at the dinner table, but I know I need some more money. So talk to me like, explain it to me in a way that I can understand it and grasp it, and so that I can take it and run with it. Legacy planning. As small business owners, you have to have your estate plan done. Do not leave your family to have to figure it out. If you don't have someone in your family that says, I want to do your business and I want to follow in your footsteps, have an exit strategy. What is the plan if I'm no longer here? What happens to my business? What happened to all these beautiful books I wrote? What happened to all of these wonderful cookies I make? What happened to my financial firm? What happens to all this hard work you put in? What happens to it? What do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Do you understand what the difference is? Do you want to leave it to charity? Are you gonna leave it to your kids? I know y'all be like me, people I left $80 million to charity. What? You ain't had no children and no nieces or nephews? Nobody in your church? I be like, blood be boiling. But guess what? That ain't my money. So them people decided to leave their money to charity. If you don't want to leave it to charity or to some corporation, put something in place to where you will be making sure that your wishes are met. When you're no longer here, we won't be able to hear you. Okay? Put your wishes in writing. Get your estate plan done. Have a buy-sell agreement. If you have a partnership, what happens if you fall out? I don't want to do business with you anymore. Did you put something in place? Have that done. Do you have life insurance? No GoFundMe's and fish fries. Do you have insurance? Do you have the right kind? Those are things you have to do in your financial plan personally and in a business. Are you about to get married? Unfortunately, are you going through a divorce? Are you happily married? Like, what are those things? What happens with your legacy? You are here and your life matters. Insure it. These cell phones, I think I paid $45 a month, I think, for the plan for like all the phones. It's a business phone. So all the phones, I pay $45 a month. Insurance on phone. You ask people, and I'm not judging. I'm just really passionate. As you can tell, this is my lane. So let me calm down a little bit. But we insure so much less and we'll work so much more. Let's make sure that if you want to do this business, or if you have a family or a ministry that you care about, do your legacy planning. That is your financial planning, your estate planning. What is your legacy? When I'm no longer here, this is what I want. All your favorite sweat tops, who's going to have them? You don't want the kids in the hallway fighting, or she's going to give me that one. The pink one is mine. I know it sounds silly and funny, but guess what? It happens. It happens. People fall out about the least little things. I'm like, are you serious? So get that done. Cash flow. If your cash isn't flowing enough to where it is not just getting by, we want to thrive in 26. 26 want to be the year that we're able to donate more to our church, if that's your thing. Charity. You want to be able to sponsor somebody to go to college. Like, what are your things you dream about? You want to take a trip. What is it that you want to do? You need funds to do that. So get with your financial educator And there are some here on here that can share their links and things with you. So I know I see Yolanda, I see Stefan, Stefan, I see Monique. So if there are plenty of us on here that can help you, that we don't mind. We have a book now, How Money Works for Women. And let me tell you, in 2030, women are going to be in control of the majority of the money. And if we don't know the rule of 72, or we don't know what accounts to get, we don't know the difference between a will and a trust, those things, the vultures are going to come in and take advantage and put us back, just set us back. And we're coming to say, no, not this year. We're going to make sure that every woman on this call and any woman attached to you have a full understanding of their financial, have a full understanding of what to do, make better decisions, educated decisions, and not just being told what to do, but knowing what to do. And so if you want to learn more about that, in the email, you're going to have my contact information, or one of the ladies that are on, they can share their links as well. And we will sit down with you and help you do your financial plan. And we'll help you with your business planning. Don't wing it, and don't feel ashamed. You don't know what you don't know. Day trading, let's see, yes, we can connect you with someone that can help you with that. And Shelfon, she is amazing. She's doing some work in Louisville. It's in Louisville, right? Shelfon, you can unmute yourself if you can.
Yes, I'm in Louisville.
Okay. See, I don't even
You say Louisville. I'm in Louisville.
So in case someone is in your area, tell them how to get in touch with you.
I put my website on there that has all my information on there, has my direct cell phone number. And if you have families out here that you want me to meet up with, by all means, I will definitely make myself available. I am here. I have that same passion as Candy. I'm definitely here to give back to my people, to the community, empower women. That is my thing, my passion, my ministry as well. So by all means.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
for sharing.
welcome. Absolutely.
I didn't even say it right. You're gonna have to give me some practice on that, cell phone. When we get together next month, you're gonna give me a coaching session on how to pronounce that.
Oh, Louisville.
Yes.
Okay, got you.
And Monique got a question for you in the chat too, by the
Is
way.
that Mississippi or Kentucky?
Yeah, because it's Louisville, Kentucky, and Louisville, Mississippi.
Oh,
Yes.
that's what it was? Oh, I didn't bullshit that all the way up. Okay. All right. Awesome. Weren't you in the Kentucky area too, Monique?
Yeah, I was just texting her that I have a lot of contacts from Fort Knox, Kentucky. I lived in Pine Grove for 10 years. So definitely can hook you up with some people in that area.
Absolutely. I'm here for them.
Yeah, put where you what state you're in. Put that in the chat for us so we can get some people connected here. I put mine in there. All right, so just a little quick commercial here. On January 3rd at 10 a.m., there will be a virtual class. Unlock 30 days of visibility with digital dopamine, which means, hey, you get your social media life together, okay? All right, and Miss Cherry Sibley, she is going to be teaching that class. Plan 30 days of content in real time, no guessing, no overthinking. Ooh, so all of you people who are fearful of social media, you need to be taking a picture of this screen, and you need to be texting the word calendar to 504-655-5589. You need to get your content calendar together. Let me tell you a little bit about Miss Cherry Sibley. She is superb, phenomenal, and amazing. And I'm not just saying that because she's my baby, but she's actually my baby girl. So, but the girl is bad. Let me tell you, the social media game is on lock. Or am I saying that right? I don't know, whatever the young people saying. But anyway, if you need to get your social media life together, you definitely want to take this webinar with her. Text the word calendar to 504-655-5589. And yes, it will be included in the band and in the email as well. Matter of fact, Cherry, is she still on? She's been she got some competing distractions. It's a 5-year-old that's kind of the boss lady of the house. But anyway, I'll make sure she put this flyer in our band group as well. So that's going to take place on January 3rd. All right, here's our last section, and it's going to wrap it up for tonight. Just before we do a Q&A session, we're doing good. We'll get through this in 9 minutes. So self-care matters. I started off talking at the very beginning about I commemorate you all. I congratulate you all. Thank you all for taking the time for yourself. Because I know all of us right now got other things we could be doing. We got laundry, we got emails, we got text messages, we got to run errands, we got so many other things that we could be doing, but we are taking the time now to make sure that we get things in order, or at least start the process to get things in order, because we're not going to get it all done tonight, to make sure that our 2026 is a much, I believe this year was great. I mean, it's been very interesting. Trust me, you ever have one of those years, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna remember this year. This is one of those years for me, but I'm here and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. And so with that, I'm just looking forward to 2026 because I'm just so hopeful and just looking forward to all the possibilities. And I know if we had time, we could all tell stories and we could testify and we could say, this was something awful that happened, or this was something great that happened. And it's just part of life. But self-care is what's going to help keep us all from going off the grid. I know Monique is here. She's a grief counselor, a grief coach. Kitty talked about being a life coach. Those things, because we're small business owners, we're used to, or leaders of the home, we got to suppress that so we can keep rolling. There are people counting on me. But, don't forget to replenish you. Take care of your mental health. I saw someone on here, I think it was Desiree earlier, she said that she made a schedule with herself so that she can block out the time to make sure that she has some time just to unwind. And so we got to make sure that we take care of ourselves, whether that's eating, whether that's mental health, whether that's physical health. I need to get back into walking. I had got up to like 5 miles a day, 4 days a week, and it's been hit and miss. I got to get back to that. So self-care matters. Prioritizing, which was one of the first things we started with priorities. Self-care is essential for sustaining business success. If you are in ministry, if you have a nonprofit, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you cannot just run 365 days a year and think you're going to be successful. You are going to be burnt out, tired, worn out, and just horrible to be around by the end of the year. So by setting clear boundaries and nurturing our mental health, we create a balanced and fulfilling life that enhances productivity. Monique, if you could you put your link in the chat too as well, so that people can reach out to you as well? If you're on here and you're like, hey, I think I'm at that point to where I just, one more thing is gonna just tilt me over, reach out. If Monique is not your person, someone reach out to someone. But Monique is going to share her information here. She helps with that burnout, that mental challenges. And so we want to make sure that we create a balanced and fulfilling life. I know a lot of times when we come to business planning sessions, it's all about the money. Come on, we got to make the money, get the profits up, get your profit margins going, get the products out, what's your revenue? None of that matters if you're not healthy and you're not mentally sane. So we want to make sure, and even in your prayer life, and remember putting God first, the things that really matter. So we have to make sure we do those things. Because I know me, I'm speaking for me. I love what I do. I love educating people. I love the things I do through my business. And I'm so proud and so thankful that it's something I'm proud of. But 18 hours a day, okay, 2026, we got to cut that out. I love what I do, but 18, 19, 20 hours, I got to sleep, okay? I got to start going to bed. So one of my self-care things is making myself go to bed. So wish me well on that. I just love what I do. All right. So your body is a temple, and these are some of the things that it needs. It needs food, which is one of my favorites. Okay, no fighting there. I will break for food. Okay. Exercise, sleep, medical checkup. Ladies, have your mammograms. I'm not a doctor, but I am saying, get the checkup, go do your, go get the stuff checked out, do what you got to do. Mental therapy. Monique is putting her link in the chat. If you offer mental therapy, please put that in the chat so the ladies can reach out to you. Realistic schedule. Okay. That is one of the things I did improve for 2025. I saw on social media, someone asked, what was one of the things you did in 2025 that you were proud of, or something that you did? And that was me. I actually put together a more realistic schedule. I start putting in some block time. My schedule I have like from 12:30 to 2:30 is not available on my calendar. I started taking that off. So, and sometimes I'm guilty of putting something in there, but at least it's not on my public calendar. I did do that. So a realistic schedule. So this is something you might want to take a picture of this screen here. You want to work on these things. You want to have these as a check off list, making sure that you're doing these things. Your prayer, your spiritual study time. And even if you're like, I know I'm currently studying for one of my credentials in my financial business. Self-on, I'm studying for the SIE. Okay. So
I'm right there with you. That's a Beastmaster 2000 right there.
yeah, it's why the hair in the bun. So so even schedule time for the things that you want to accomplish. There are some things that you can do for your clients. You need to get a credential, or you may need to get a continued education or some type of certification. Go ahead and set that aside. Even though it's something that you don't want to do, it's not the fun, sexy stuff. But you know that on the other side of that, you'll be able to do something better in your business for your community in which you serve. So if there's some sort of credential, find out what it is, how much time it's going to take, and then come up with a realistic schedule. I had this outlandish idea that I was gonna block out a whole day and study, and whatever. That went right out the window. So I got a more realistic schedule together. I start over January 1, so I'm publicly saying I took the test and didn't pass. So I was like, I shouldn't have expected to pass, because the way I was studying, I wouldn't have passed me either. So so I'm putting together a realistic schedule. I put a schedule together. So starting over January 1, so that I can get that credential. So in prayer, Kitty, I am I know I told you in private, I'm publicly saying I am so forever thankful for that teaching that you introduced me to. So you know what I'm talking about. And it took my prayer life and my Bible study life. I think it was December of 24. Yeah. So a year ago. So this year, the spiritual growth, we just gonna have to have some tea to talk about it, some girl time to talk about it. But I have truly grown in that area, but it was because I set the time for it. Not that I wasn't praying before. It's just that it was something that was needed. And in order for something to happen, we got to be intentional, lady. Nobody's gonna let us have our time. Them kids gonna knock on the door, dad gonna call, the neighbor's gonna need something, the church gonna need you to volunteer, the client gonna not schedule and show up. It's gonna be something consuming your time, sucking it all up, unless you put the barriers there and say, hey, this is what I'm doing at this time. And so I was able to and I was open to be introduced to something else. Another thing, are you willing to even think about or consider? She sent me a teaching. I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is what I needed in that moment. And it helped me tremendously. So I feel like I'm a better parishioner at my church. I'm a better client to people that I patronize. I'm a better leader to my team. So things like that, we have to put the time aside to do the thing we want to do so that we can be better. Okay. So I just want to make sure that we're eating right as best as possible. I know, and I'm in Louisiana, so it's hard down here for us to eat right with all this, gravy and sauce we have everywhere and everything. So food, exercise, getting sleep, which is one of the things I'm going to work on for 26, medical checkup, mental therapy. Quit thinking you got to have it all figured out and it's not okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be okay, but you need to let somebody know you're not okay. Okay. Be realistic with your schedule and make sure above all that you have your spiritual time set aside, however that looks for you. But it needs, it needs to be something that you're going to be, and I don't want it to be robotic because, like I said earlier, and it has to be what God has given you. I believe at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. He's going to hear me. So if he tells you to 3 o'clock, okay, 3 o'clock. But don't let anybody make you feel like if you're not a morning person, you're not a morning person. Don't go in there all sleepy and groggy. Go when you're going to be fresh and alive. He wants you alive just like you're alive for everything else. So I'm not going to get on that soapbox. But set that time aside. And so we want to make sure of that. We want to make sure that you're well. And we want to celebrate when we do things. Celebrate and rest. I don't think I got to twist anybody on. Looking at this scenery right here, I think and that's what I want. I mentioned it earlier. I think I told my daughter. I said I want to be able to I want to be able to do this there. I can see us in some cabana on some beach, having somebody bring us some refreshment and doing it, and our PJ, the real nice ones too, them silky ones, the ones with the little, the matching ones, the ones that match, unlike some of us, y'all know y'all got on mixed match clothes. I ain't gonna make y'all stand up, but I can see us doing that. So we want to celebrate, and we want to celebrate one another. If it's not my turn today and it's your turn, I want to celebrate you. Okay. We want to plan time to rest. If it's just a half a day or whatever, plan time to celebrate, rejuvenate, allowing you to return back to your business, to your work, and to your home, refreshed and inspired. In the celebration, the joys of life while you're working. Take the vacation. Use your PTO. I met one of my clients. She had some with the paid time off. I think she told me she had like 200 and something hours. I said, girl, if they fire you tomorrow, they gonna cash those in. She said, no, they don't cash in. I'm like, girl, you better get those hours. Take your PTO. But they gonna make it without you. Go to the party, go have the dinner, buy the shoes. But if you budget for the shoes, got to be in your budget, okay, lady? And learn how to say no. Just no. No explanation needed. Just learn to say no. All right, so I am going to get ready to open it up for a Q&A. I think, let's see. Oh, 120. Angel. Well, I think you're getting ready to use yours because Angel is getting ready to walk down the aisle, and so you'll don't worry, you can use the hours. I'm not even worried. So I'm gonna open it up for any questions. Let me just go to this next screen real quick. Okay. Any questions, comment, complaints, concerns about tonight, any takeaways? And we'll just take a few and then I'll wrap it up. Any questions? I think you should be able to unmute yourself. Let me see, hold on.
Hey, Candy, can you go back one slide?
Yes, I sure can.
Okay, got it. Thank
All right. So one of the things I want to make sure is while y'all are trying to find the unmute button, will you please put Courtney Flyers back? Okay, yeah, I sure will. While you're trying to find the unmute button to ask your question or make your comment, I want to make sure that you all, and this is the one for the 30 days of visibility for the social media. And I'm gonna go back to all of them. This is the QR code for learning the rule of 72. I want to make sure that you all accept the invite that I'm going to send out for the band community, where we're able to follow up on the homework, connect, and make sure that we are able to hold each other accountable throughout the year. All right, this is the one Kitty had, and then they wanted me to go back to Courtney's flyer. All right. All right. Oh, there I go. All right. So Courtney's class is on January 31st. at 10 a.m. And there's a QR code and there's also the website. Make sure when you register that you use the discount code MBS, which stands for Martin Business Solution. And I believe there's a discount. It's either really discounted or it is, it's a nice discount on that. So, and I'm sure Courtney budgeted for that discount. So you got to make sure that you're budgeting your discount. All right. So I'm going to read some of the chats out. And if anybody have a question or a comment, please make sure that you unmute yourself. Okay. And this is our homework. I'm going to be checking for this. This is the one I'm going to be checking for. This kind of totals up. Oh, it's free to tonight. Okay, Courtney, thank you. So the code that Courtney provided allows you to attend. Somebody put the praying hands up. It allows you to attend the workshop at no cost. That is so awesome. Thank you, Courtney. I pray that God bless you tremendously for that. Look, some of us will be in Dallas, so that's why we won't be on at 10 a.m. We'll be in some meeting. We'll be in some meeting at that time, but we're going to make sure that we share that. So thank you. That's our homework. Make sure that we seek wisdom and that we're not trying to wing it and do it all by ourselves. We're going to work on our priorities. The code is not scanning. Okay, Courtney. She will, when I send out the email, I'm going to also have her website there. We'll make sure that you all get the code that is working. Just put it on your calendar. We'll make sure. And all of what we did tonight, we want to make sure, and then Courtney just put something in the chat. We want to make sure that you are putting God first and that we're focused on what we're supposed to be focused on and that we're not being enticed by not just bad things, but remember, good things could be the things that are not aligned for us in this moment. If you're working on something, God gave you a plan, you're working, you're focused, someone come along with another great idea, is it the right time to do that thing? And it could be something great, but is it the right time? Because we want to make sure that we're not off balance. And so with that, I'm gonna go back to the last slide. And any questions, I'll stay on in case someone want to ask anything, I'm here. Go back to this last one. All right, this is our wrap-up slide. If you're still on, you might want to take a picture of it. You want to commit your plans to God through prayer. You want to focus on your priorities for the upcoming year. You want to clarify your program, your offerings, like for your business. You want to establish value-based pricing strategy. You want to make sure that you're charging the right amount and that you're giving the right value based on what you are charging. Prioritize self-care, set healthy boundaries. We're getting rid of toxic relationships and clients. When I say that, some clients, we just need to cut them off. All right, celebrate your achievements. Even, sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. Celebrate the small wins, the big wins, celebrate. And I really, truly want to thank you all for participating on tonight. And I pray that your journey for 2026, it be guided by purpose and inspiration. And remember, with faith and intention, you can accomplish great things. I truly, truly want to thank our presenters, Kitty and Courtney, for taking time out. Thank all of you ladies that participated in the chat and shared information. If you take a moment, y'all go through the chat, just kind of read some of the comments. I'm just truly grateful for you all. And I thank you for taking the time out on a Tuesday night to plan your 2026, and I will be looking forward to seeing all of you in band. And I'm sorry, someone getting ready to ask me something? I thought somebody unmuted themselves.
I will say, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, dear.
Yes, Candy, is this one recorded? I just got out of another event and I just hopped on a few minutes ago.
Well, we'll see if I can get it condensed down. But Cheryl Fawn took some great notes. So
Does she? Did
yeah.
she? Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be reaching out. Okay.
I did take some good notes. And Candy, thank you so much. I'm so glad I blocked this time out. You never seem to amaze me to share your knowledge. I'm always a student Sometimes I feel like I know, but there's always something I don't know, and there's always some self things that I need to take care of myself. Thanks for putting that in awareness.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there were some things that I hold back on, and celebrating myself and is one of those things. And I have a whole list of things that I want to do differently in 2026, but that list has changed. Just based on this meeting tonight, it did help me revise a lot of things. Thank you for sharing the resources. I'm looking forward to trying my best to get on some of those events that you shared. I will be looking for that email. I will be in band. I will do my homework. Um, I mean, I know you and I both share the same type business, but it's always good to look at it through someone else's eyes. Um, Everybody's success isn't the same. So thank you so much for sharing, putting this together, and I appreciate you extending the offer to us over here in Kentucky. I took a ton of notes on every slide, so I feel like I have a whole Zoom for my team.
Yay.
For sure. So if you can't get that recorded, I definitely have a breakdown, and I will be sharing this. And you'll be getting your pat on the back from the team.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're able to share. And please let Sandy know she's in my prayers too, by the way.
Absolutely. I sure
Thank
will.
you.
She is on the men's.
Thank you. Thank you. That's
Mhm.
good. Thank you. Thank you. Um, and thank you all for just the encouraging, I almost didn't do it. I was like, man, I know, but I just couldn't take it. I said, okay, let me put it together. And so I thank God for giving me the opportunity to be obedient. So I'm gonna be looking and following each of you and pulling for you. And so someone asked about how to get the complimentary session. I put it in the chat. You can just text the word plan, PLAN, to 985-326-9297. And that's how you'll get your session with me to help you with your business plan. But I'm going to put all that in the email as well as in the band group that I created for us. So I'm going to make sure that y'all get all this information because I know it's a lot of information. But this is this homework. I'm gonna be looking for this homework.
I just wanted to say thank you, Candy. You know, I run my own women's group and putting it on, I don't often get to be a student, like Shelfon said. And so it's just really good to be able to be in a room and like really like learn and align and really focus on me and the business that I need to build, right? So that the women that I am helping also excel. But I think someone said it perfectly. If we're not treating ourselves, then they're not going to grow, or whoever our target audience isn't going to grow. So I just want to say thank you. I'm really, really glad you put this together. I got a lot from it. And just again, I really appreciate your time tonight.
Oh, I thank you for being on. I'm so honored that you were on. I was like, yay! And that's so true. We pour out, and then sometimes when we go places to get poured in, we still can't pour in because then they start pulling on us. And we're like, I came to learn too. So I'm so glad that I was able to be that for you. And so when I'm gonna definitely get a chance to come to Empower Her Life and just be a student. I'm gonna definitely get a chance to come on over and fellowship with you ladies as well.
We would love to have you. Thank you again. Truly, this is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to echo what everybody else said to you, Candy. This was beautifully done.
Oh.
I'm not sure if I'm going to feel the same way when I have to do my homework, but I know you're going to make sure we get it done. So I appreciate that as well because I definitely need that. And all the information, although like, others said, it's kind of like you know it, but you don't do it, and just being seeing it in a different perspective, different way of looking at it, especially with the new year coming in. We always
Mhm.
have these ideas of what we're going to do, but making them
Mhm.
realistic and just putting it on paper. I'm like you, I like paper, I like writing too. But I know I may be calling some of you ladies because I really don't like doing digital, but I know I need to.
Yes, yes, yes. And all you social media hiders, I need you guys. I'm gonna be looking for your social media pages. We got to get those up too. If you have a business and you're not on social media, are you really in business? Come on, let's go, ladies. So yes, so thank you so much, Yolanda. And keep that same energy when you get ready to do that homework.
I will. And I know you'll have that on me because I will be at the conference too.
Yay. All right. Anyone else? Oh, you look so beautiful. I just stopped sharing the screen so I could actually see who was on here. This is so awesome. Praise y'all. Look at them. So I got some Kim folks on here too. All righty. I know I can follow them. I can find them, make sure they did their homework. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you for sharing and taking care of the ladies. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And I'm going to be on everybody about the self-care. Any other questions before we end for tonight?
Candy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay, I don't know what was going on with my mic today, but first of all, thank you for the invite. I don't know how I saw it today. I hadn't been on my email in probably since before Christmas, and I pulled up my email, my personal email today to check it, and there was your email. I'm like, I hadn't seen anything from Candy in forever. And so I signed up. I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to jump on it. And I was actually running late. I had to pick my son up from work. And I was like, I got to get home so I can get on the session. And what's crazy is everything is God's timing, of course. And, we know each other. So this was God's timing tonight because something that I talked about in 2025 that I had as a goal, I had a name for it and everything. And tonight, when we were talking about, I forgot what it was something about us as women and women in business. God brought that to my remembrance about something that I said that I was supposed to do, and it was purpose work. And so tonight was kind of confirmation that 2026, you need to put that on the priority list and you need to get it done because you did not do it this year. And a lot of it was out of fear, because when it's something new to you, you've never done it before, you let fear talk you out of it. And just hearing that tonight be brought back up and him reminded me through this and the way it all happened, it's God. If you know how God works, when it's God and when he giving you that prick. So I'm really glad that I came on here, and I probably will reach out to you with that project because I think you can give me some insight to help me make it what I know I need it to be. Thank you for putting this on, Kendi. I'm always gonna support you when your stuff comes across. We go way back, like 4 flats. So
look, way back. Look, the BC before Christ.
way back. And just want to say I'm proud of you to see you continuing the work that you're doing. It's amazing. It's amazing, very inspiring. So thank you so much. And to all the ladies out there pushing through and making business happen, you got it, sister.
Thank you. And we twinning too. I think we twinning with this bun. Oh, look, that's the way you in it too. Yeah, it's that kind of day. I was gonna have my hair down and everything, but anyway, y'all already know. All right, anyone else? Let's see.
I was going to tell Tammy because she said about fear. I was reading something today, my personal development, and it said that fear triggers something in our brain and that we need to survive because our brain goes into survival mode and it doesn't associate it with success. And that's where our confidence starts lapsing, what you just said, right? And so it says you will become confident once you've actually done the thing. So really living and stepping into the fear is retraining our brain to associate fear with success and not fear with survival. So
Ooh, so on the other side of that fear is confidence, sassy.
Thank you. And you're right. And the thing is, I know this. I know this. I did something, I stepped out of fear this year. I started a whole community over here in Georgia for women over 40 called Sister Girls Collective. I started in October and God has blown my mind with it. One of the posts I did on social media for it, I guess it went viral. It had like 17,000 views and something like that. I don't know. And we've had like tremendous response to it. And it was in the 3rd month. I wasn't going to do any more events after December. I was going to close it up and make it private. And God said, nope, that's not how I want it done. So now we got to revamp the whole thing.
well, Tammy reached out to me. I own a community or a personal professional development. We have over 200 members. We're in 5 cities. Our
Oh,
youngest member is 23. Our oldest member is 72. Our average is 35 to 45. So I would love to connect with you. We love sharing speakers, opening doors for other women in other communities and other cities. So if you need anything, reach out.
I definitely will. Don't tell me, honey. Don't tell me
Yeah,
with a
I'm
good
so
time.
serious. And I love virtual coffees and like I'll travel and Candy has my number, but we're here for look, if we can help each other build community, right, then everyone's gonna have one. And that's what the Bible says, that we need community and be vessels in each other's lives. And who your people
Absolutely.
may not be my people, but my people may be your people, and your people may be my people. So
Oh, I'm excited. Thank you
But
so much.
Candy said 40 and over, so I'm not in that group. No,
I am.
look, in my dreams, in my dreams, in my dreams. But anyway, so yeah, so put your links in the chat. Anyone else? Letha Thomas, I think you had unmuted. Did you have something you want to share or a question? I didn't want to leave you out. Okay. All right. All right. Let me make sure I have everybody in the chat. We got phone numbers, we got links, we got websites. All right. All right, ladies. Y'all have a blessed rest of your night. And I saw your text message, Ray. I'm gonna text you back. Oh, wait.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Candy.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
had a quick question. I think it's for Monique Jackson. Is that
What's the
um I wrote my notes for the name of her.
I was just about to roll out.
I'm
I'm here.
sorry
It's
for
okay.
the business is like the real talk time.
Mhm.
Do your clients normally just like pay directly or do they use like an employee assistance program? I was
No,
curious.
at this time it's pay directly.
Pay directly. That was what I was wondering. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
But pray for me for that. 'Cause
Sure. That could be one of your goals for
yes,
2026.
it
Oh, it
is.
is. Don't worry. It's
It
one of the
is. And to
Okay.
accept insurance, yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I was just
Mhm.
wondering. Okay.
So still connect so that, later on that you'll be able to.
Yes, I wrote her down because I think that I could refer some of my clients to her. So
Okay.
I have your information. I'll get with you.
All right. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
I actually put her link in. I ordered for Christmas, I ordered JoJo, my grandbaby, some personalized backpacks. And so Ashley, thank you. You couldn't tell her nothing. She got everything in it besides the kitchen sink. So definitely let's support Ashley as well if we can.
Okay.
Let me see. All right, thank you. I'm just kind of reading through the chat. Thank you guys. I feel so honored.
Thank
Thank
you.
y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Miss Mary. You've been awfully quiet, but I see you. Thank you so much for being on. And Geraldine, I see all y'all. I can see y'all now. Dewan, I can't believe Dewana's on. It's way past her bedtime. You talk about a sleep schedule. Dewana gets up at 4 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
She runs a child care center.
Okay.
I'm
Hey,
proud of you.
Candy, it's you, girl. You brought me in.
Oh, look, I'm gonna have to check on you in the morning, but not at 4 o'clock. I appreciate you. Miss
I
Thomas,
appreciate
you have
it.
anything you wanted to add? I saw your camera come on and go off. I didn't know if you were trying to say something. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Miss Erica. Did I forget about it? Miss Cynthia, I see you.
Hey,
Angel.
Candy.
Hey. And Dr. Cherie Guimont, I see you. She's a pediatrician over in Dallas, Texas. So if y'all are in Dallas and y'all got some babies need to be taken care of, look up Dr. Cherie Guimont. She is phenomenal. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. And I'm going to be sending out that email in about an hour because I want to make sure I get all the links. And then, of course, the band group. I want to make sure that we all get connected. Y'all have a great night. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.